You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. Welcome to Dodgers Stadium. We've got a National League matchup for you. It's the Miami Marlins playing the Los Angeles Dodgers. Walker Buehler on the mound, contending for the Cy Young Award this year as we end the first half, facing one of the better contact hitters in the National League in Jonathan Villar. And we'll take a look at Walker Buehler's numbers now. He has the most wins in all of Major League Baseball, 12-2 in 18 starts. Also has a .217 ERA in 112 innings pitched and has 121 strikeouts, which ranks among the top 10 in the National League. And here comes Jonathan Villar, .354 hitter, 9 home runs, and 49 RBIs. He's having quite the breakout season this year. This is his first year with the Marlins as he swings and misses for strike one. Switch hitter batting from the left side. The Dodgers 61-29, first in the NL West. They have the second best record in all of Major League Baseball. And nobody right now in the National League West has been able to keep up ever since the Dodgers got hot back in May. Out toward left and foul, the count quickly 0-2. But the next best team in the National League West is the Arizona Diamondbacks. They haven't even reached 50 wins yet. They're 11.5 games back of the Dodgers for first place. Strike three caught on Jonathan Villar, and Walker Buehler opens the game up with his 122nd strikeout of the season. Not too often do high strikes get called, but the home plate umpire saw that one well there. And so one out top of the first. Here's Brian Anderson, .256 hitter with 6 home runs and 36 RBIs entering play. Brian Anderson, one of the few players who's recognized as the future of the Marlins. Anderson's been around for a few seasons now, though. Has experimented in left field, right field, and he's played first base for a short period of time in his career. But right now he's the starting third baseman. And that's where the Marlins want to keep him as their team continues to rebuild. Though they're coming up on an upswing in their rebuild. They're second in the National League East right now. They've been a competitive team this year. They also have the second wild card spot. Jock Peterson able to run that one down close to the wall. That's out number 2. And with that, we'll look at the starting lineup for the Marlins. And several new faces on this team this year. Jonathan Villar, one of them. Corey Dickerson, another. Jesus Aguilar, yet another. Francisco Cervelli, yet another. And they were all acquired in almost every way you could think of. Corey Dickerson signed as a free agent this past offseason, and he stands in now against Walker Buehler with 2 outs and the bases empty. Dickerson batting .310 to begin the year. Well, not to begin the year. We're almost toward the end of the first half, but his average is .310 as of today. Former Colorado Rocky, Tampa Bay Ray, Pittsburgh Pirate, and Philadelphia Philly. One of the more underrated outfielders in the game as well, with so many big names ahead of him. It's hard to remember the name Corey Dickerson, but he is quite a consistent player, has had great contact numbers over the year. Also won a Gold Glove with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2018. Counts 1-2. One ball, 2 strike count on Corey Dickerson. That's flared out toward left and foul. Count still 1-2. Ripped foul. The count still 1-2. Dickerson staying alive. As mentioned before, Dickerson, one of the pieces that the Marlins added this offseason that has helped this team turn it around. The Marlins last year finished with the worst record in the National League. And here they are now as a potential wild card team as we come toward the end of the first half of the season. Out toward left field, another chance for Jock Peterson. And he makes the catch. Top of the first inning has come to an end. No runs on no hits and nobody left on for the Marlins. Buehler got a strikeout in that top of the first inning as we go to the bottom of the first. No score here at Dodger Stadium. On the mound for the Marlins is Jordan Yamamoto. 7-5 in 17 starts this season, a respectable ERA at .399. Has racked up 90 in the third innings this year. The Marlins pitching staff hasn't been great. There's no Cy Young Award winners this year in their starting rotation. However, their rotation has kept them in games, and their offense has helped back them up. Here comes Mookie Betts, .278 hitter with 16 home runs and 49 RBIs entering play. Mookie Betts, a former Boston Red Sox, got traded from the Red Sox this offseason, now playing for the Dodgers, and he's bolstered their outfield. Many critics, after the offseason moves the Dodgers made, have made the claim that if the Dodgers don't win the World Series in 2020, that their window of opportunity to win a championship will come to an end before they have to rebuild. The Dodgers have won 7 straight NL West titles. And they have no World Series championships to show for it. They made it to the World Series twice in the last decade, 2017 and 2018, but they lost to the Astros and then to the Red Sox. But now the Dodgers have 2 pieces of that World Series team. Got Mookie Betts and David Price from the Red Sox. Price, one of the starting 5 in the rotation, and Mookie Betts batting leadoff, playing right field, which helps both their lineup and their defensive outfield, with Betts in right, Bellinger in center, and Peterson in left. That's fouled off. The count still 3-2. Another full count pitch coming from Yamamoto. Got him to chase, and Yamamoto starts off his outing with a strikeout.
Batting second, the second baseman, number 48.
Just elevated the fastball on 3-2, and Betts didn't have enough discipline to lay off of it. So that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Gavin Lux. The Dodgers' order's been moved around a bit because Mitch Garver got hurt. He'll be out for a few days, not a serious injury, but Lux has been moved from the bottom of the order to batting second. Bellinger moved from second and is batting cleanup in this game. That's where Garver batted, was cleanup before he got hurt. Lux also most likely to be in the All-Star game next week. He's put up great numbers this season. He made his Major League debut last year. Has gotten the consistent opportunities to play second base, and so far he's been making the most of them. Power numbers aren't too strong, but his average, his run batted in count, and his on-base percentage are high. Inside counts even 2-2. Out towards center field. Back goes Villar to the wall. He leaps. And that leaves the yard. Gavin Lux hits his 17th homer of the season. It's 1-0 Dodgers in the bottom of the first. That pitch was over the middle of the plate. Not a great 2-strike pitch. To Yamamoto's credit, it just left the yard, and Villar could have had a play on it, but just a bit out of Villar's reach. So 1-0 Dodgers. Now here's Justin Turner. .302 hitter with 11 home runs and 34 RBIs entering play. Might see him in the All-Star game, though fourth place is kind of an uncertain portion of the voting population. Justin Turner's been a consistent third baseman with the Dodgers, has also put up consistent numbers over the years. His first season with the Dodgers was 2014. So he's been around through most of their recent history. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Breaking ball right over the plate. And the count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Count still even 2-2. Chop foul, the count's still even 2-2. Now, there was a graphic on the screen earlier about the Marlins record, so I'll touch on that now as these next couple at bats go on. Well, Turner strikes out there. Second strikeout for Yamamoto. That's out number 2. But the Marlins have a 48-41 record entering play. They're 3 games back of the Nationals for the NL East lead. Again, the Marlins second in the NL East, and the Marlins also a game back of the Diamondbacks for the first wild card spot. But the Marlins have the second wild card spot, and they have a game lead over the Braves, who also happen to be in their division. So the Marlins, as we come to the end of the first half of the season, are a legitimate playoff contender. They went from having the worst record in the National League last year and the 3rd worst record in all of Major League Baseball to making moves in the offseason that have driven them to be a contending team. They could win the division realistically, too, as the standings are right now, but they also are in position to win a wild card spot as well. So we'll have to see what happens as the season progresses. But the Marlins no longer at the bottom of the league. 2-ball, 2-strike count on the National League's reigning most valuable player. Counts full 3-2. Corey Seager would bat next. Three-two pitch. Strike 3 called over the lower part of the plate. Jordan Yamamoto strikes out the side, but in the middle of those strikeouts, he gave up a home run to Gavin Lux, which made it 1-0 Dodgers. We'll go to inning number 2. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Coming into the second inning, the middle of the order for the Marlins will be up to bat. Jesus Aguilar, Garrett Cooper, and Francisco Cervelli. Jesus Aguilar was claimed off waivers while he was in limbo with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now playing for Florida's other Major League Baseball team. Hasn't put up great numbers, but he's the kind of veteran that is useful for a rebuilding team. And for a middle-of-the-order bat, he's been doing well, producing runs and hitting homers. Aguilar, former Cleveland Indian, Milwaukee Brewer, and Tampa Bay Ray. Had his breakout season with the Brewers in 2018. And now playing for the Marlins and helping them turn it around. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ripped on the ground through the infield. That's going to be a base hit, maybe extra bases. Bellinger plays it against the wall as Aguilar goes towards second, and he's aboard with a leadoff double.
That is hit. The right fielder, Garrett Cooper.
That was just past Gavin Lux. A few more feet one way, and Lux would have had a play on that ball, but not quite what happened, and it split the gap. So now a runner in scoring position for the Marlins, and here's Garrett Cooper. Cooper, a former first baseman with the New York Yankees, got traded to the Marlins and has adapted to the outfield, and he's starting this game in right field. Been a consistent hitter, not high numbers, but he's batted consistently over his career, and the mid to high 200s. And he still has time to develop. May see him be one of the better power hitters of the future. Buehler got him to chase. That's Buehler's second strikeout. And that's the first out of the top of the second inning. We'll take a look at that pitch again. A breaking ball that started high and middle and broke low and outside. Cooper could not resist. So now with one out, here's Francisco Cervelli, veteran catcher on this Marlins team, batting sixth in the order. Cervelli, former New York Yankee, Pittsburgh Pirate, and Atlanta Brave. Signed with the Marlins in the offseason, and he and Jorge Alfaro have been platoon catchers, but Cervelli has handled the bulk of it.
1-1.
Just another piece to this team that is helping them turn things around. Inside counts 2-1. Cervelli's had issues in the past with injuries, mainly concussions. He signed an extension with the Pirates and then revealed all of his injuries to the public, all of the problems that he was having. Also made a claim that he may never catch again just because of how serious his injuries have been. But when he got traded to the Braves, he did catch for them, and here he is now playing for the Marlins and playing the catcher's role. Three ball, two strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Walker Buehler follows the double with back-to-back strikeouts. There are now two outs at the top of the second inning.
The second baseman, Kassadin Diaz.
So two outs, top of the second, and here is Kassadin Diaz, 271 hitter with 18 home runs and 51 RBIs. That's strike one. Diaz, one of the younger players on this team, made his debut last season and is now starting in the middle infield. He's playing second base.
0-2.
Counts quickly 0-2. But Diaz doing well this season, playing as advertised. Buehler about to throw pitch number 30. Strike three called, and after the double, Walker Buehler struck out the side. That's the fourth strikeout for him in this game, and that ends the top of the second inning. So no runs on one extra base hit for the Marlins and one runner left in scoring position. Moving to the bottom of the second, it's the Dodgers 1 and the Marlins 0. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 5, 6, 7 hitters to open the order for the Dodgers, but first one to bat is Corey Seager, 333 hitter with 15 home runs and 49 RBIs. Might see Seager in the All-Star game as well. He's been one of the best National League shortstops, competing with players like Fernando Tatis Jr., and other big names around.
No, that missed. That's the ball.
Had struggled in recent years, had a good 2017 and 2018. He missed most of the year with an injury. 2019 bounced back, but didn't put up elite numbers. But here in 2020, he's back up to his full potential. Two ball, one strike pitch. Swing and a miss.
2-2.
Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jordan Yamamoto into the windup. In the dirt, and that runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On the ground, left side, and a diving stop by Brian Anderson. Throws to Aguilar, and that's an out. Well played by Brian Anderson. Watch this.
Peterson.
To his glove side, which makes this throw a bit shorter. But a great play to glove that on the ground and make an accurate throw. Now here's Jock Peterson. Peterson, a .251 hitter entering play.
That's in, ball.
Started out his career as a balanced player. Hit for both contact and for power, but over the years his power numbers have shined more. And he's sacrificed his average. One of the many Dodgers pristine outfielders that started as a center fielder, but he's since moved in between left and right field. Of course, when you have players like Cody Bellinger coming up, it's difficult to maintain a center field position, but Peterson's still in the lineup and still playing left field well, and the Dodgers happy to have his bat in the lineup. Strike 3 called over the outside edge. Well placed by Jordan Yamamoto. He's up to 4 strikeouts now, and that's the second out of the bottom of the second inning.
The first baseman, Matt Beatty.
So with 2 outs at the bottom of the second, got to bring up Matt Beatty. Beatty, .326 hitter with 7 home runs and 30 RBIs. The Dodgers' first baseman of the future. But he's getting an early taste of what it's like to be an everyday starter because Max Muncy out with a season-ending injury. But Beatty has come in and filled in nicely. 12th round draft pick of 2015. Got drafted by the Dodgers, made his debut recently in the last couple years. But here he is now as the everyday starting first baseman, and as you can see by his clean splits, he's doing rather well. One of the many bats in this lineup that are keeping the Dodgers a dominant team. That's line to right field. Played by Garrett Cooper, and the bottom of the second inning is over. So no runs on no hits and nobody left on for the Dodgers. After 2 full innings, it's 1-0. The Dodgers lead the Marlins. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 8-9-1 hitters due up for the Marlins. As we move to the third inning, Miguel Rojas, Jordan Yamamoto, and then Jonathan Villar. That's fouled off, and it's quickly 0-2. Line drive caught at first base by Matt Beatty. And with that, here are the wins leaders in the National League, but you can look further than National League win leaders as well, because Walker Buehler has the most wins among Major League Baseball pitchers. So with 1 out top of the third inning, here's Jordan Yamamoto, the pitcher, who has a .231 average. Not too shabby of a hitter. Swings at the first pitch, and that's going toward no man's land in right field, and that'll drop foul. Counts 0-1. Yamamoto, a former Milwaukee Brewer. He was acquired in the trade that also brought Lewis Brinson to the Marlins team. Of course, Brinson hasn't quite developed since he's been with the Marlins. Yamamoto, however, getting the chance to start. And so far, he's been doing rather well. Swings and misses at that pitch, and now Buehler has 5 strikeouts. And take a look at strikeout leaders for the Dodgers entering play. Walker Buehler at 126 entering play, but now with 5, he has 131. Now, Clayton Kershaw is at the top of that list with 148, but he's one of the National League leaders in strikeouts. This Dodgers team has a dominant rotation. 2 outs top of the third. Here's Jonathan Villar, who takes strike 1. Villar, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He was acquired in a trade with the Orioles in this past offseason.
1-1.
Started his career with the Astros. Was traded to the Brewers. Subsequently traded to the Orioles, and now part of this Marlins team. Just another player that's helped this Marlins team start to swim again. Too high, counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Too high, and the count's full, 3-2. A couple bait pitches to Villar, but he didn't chase. Brian Anderson in the on-deck circle. Strike 3 called over the outside edge, 98 miles per hour. Buehler has now struck out 6 Marlins hitters through 3 innings on the mound. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 1-0. The Marlins trail the Dodgers. There's Heidi Watney, and when her face is on the screen, that usually means that we're going to see a graphic of some importance. So let's take a look. Dodgers hitting stats. Other than stolen bases, they rank in the top 2 of many of those categories you see on your screen in the National League, and also at least in the top 7 of Major League teams. That's in the top 7 of 30 teams. So the Dodgers have quite a great offensive team this season, as they have in recent years as well, but this season just another example of Dodgers dominance. And when you match the offense that this team has with the elite rotation, it's no wonder they have over 60 wins heading to the end of the first half. Will Smith at the plate, former top draft pick of the Dodgers. Regularly played last season. This year started off cold. That's why the Dodgers went out and got Mitch Garver from the Twins. And ironically enough, the Twins have the best record in all of Major League Baseball in front of the Dodgers. But with Mitch Garver hurt, Will Smith has been filling in. Hasn't done anything spectacular since getting to start, but he's somebody to put in there. Still a good defensive player and has the potential to become a threat with his bat. Just hasn't shined this season so far. Through. It looked like it went through Jesus Aguilar's glove, but he couldn't get it down, and that's going to be ruled an error on the Marlins first baseman. Yeah, there's Don Mattingly, by the way, former manager of the Dodgers. But an error allows the Dodgers leadoff base runner, and now here's Walker Buehler, who's in a bunt situation. And he does show bunt, but it's foul. The count's 0-1. Popped up. Cervelli can't make the play, and it's 0-2 now on Buehler. And let's see if he'll square again or maybe get the green light to swing. Now he's showing bunt. On the first base side, that will go foul, which is a strikeout for Yamamoto. So 1 out. Back to first goes Smith. And here comes Mookie Betts, who struck out back in inning number 1. The Dodgers have 1 run on a Gavin Lux solo home run that was hit back in the first inning. Since then, offenses have been relatively quiet for both teams. Nothing in 1 pitch. Too high, counts 1-1. Jammed him, and he's only able to pop it foul. Now Yamamoto ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the ground left side, Anderson plays to Villar for 1. Or excuse me, that's not Villar, that's Diaz. Diaz for 1, and then back to Aguilar. That's a double play. Out at second, Smith. Out at first, Betts. That ends the 3rd inning. Smooth throw from Anderson, and quality transition from Diaz. We'll go to inning 4. 1-0 Dodgers lead. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 2-3-4 hitters due up for the Marlins in this half inning. Brian Anderson, Corey Dickerson, and Jesus Aguilar.
1-0.
Anderson 0 for 1 against Buehler. The Marlins have just one hit to this point. And actually, the same could be said for the Dodgers. The Dodgers have just one hit as well. It just happened to be a solo home run. Been a well-pitched ball game to this point. Early runs scored by the Dodgers, but still a close game moving to the second third of regulation. 3-ball, no-strike pitch. That finds the zone, and Anderson taking all the way. Still a hitter's count. It's 3-1. And he walked him. That's ball 4. Leadoff walk issued by Buehler. Still relatively early, but at the moment, that's the tying run on first base. That'll bring up Corey Dickerson. Flew out to left field in his first at bat. Hey, don't forget as well, if you're watching this, just a reminder, this is Major League Baseball's virtual network. My name's Nicholas Callis, and this is live. This commentary is live, and it's impromptu play-by-play, so if you want to join the live chat and start a conversation, start a baseball discussion, discuss with other viewers, or discuss with me, feel free. You can also get a shout-out if you want one. Just type it into the live chat, and if I read it, I'll respond. Also, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to get notifications on when we go live and when we upload videos, and you can follow our Twitter page as well. The handle is @VirtualMLB. You can stay up to date with the league in multiple ways by following Twitter and subscribing to the YouTube channel. 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to the former Gold Glove outfielder. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Dickerson. On the ground toward the middle. Base hit. So a walk and a single have set the Marlins up. Runners on first and second with nobody out. And Jesus Aguilar is coming to the plate. Jesus Aguilar 1 for 1. Before this inning, he was the only Marlins player with a hit. Now Aguilar stands in with an opportunity to tie this game up, or at the very least, find a way to move those runners, both of them, into scoring position. 0-1 pitch. Grounded right side. Lux plays it. Flips to Seager. Over to Beatty. That's a double play. Out at second, Dickerson. Out at first, Aguilar. Anderson moves from second to third on the play, and Buehler in a less intense situation now. A runner is on third, but there are 2 outs. Bunches again, Lux. Nice flip there, and then Seager pivots nicely, gets both outs. And so 2 outs, top of the fourth. Now here's Garrett Cooper, who's 0 for 1 against Buehler. Buehler has struck out 6 to this point. And though he hasn't struck out any this inning yet, I'm sure he's happy that he got a double play on that last batter. 1-ball, no-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Counts 1-1. A 90-mile-per-hour slider from Walker Buehler. And, man, just 10 or 20 years ago, you never would have seen a player throw a slider that fast. But with so many pitchers throwing in the high 90s now, slider velocities and other breaking balls have a tendency to reach high velocities as well. 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. That's fouled away. The count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He got him swinging. 7 strikeouts for Walker Buehler now. The top of the fourth inning is over, so the Marlins can't score after getting runners on first and second to lead off the inning. Going to the bottom of the fourth, it's still a 1-0 Dodger lead. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis, and we're at Dodger Stadium with a matchup between a team from the NL East and a team from the NL West. And the NL Western team coming up to the plate now. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Dodgers. Gavin Lux, Justin Turner, and Cody Bellinger. Gavin Lux 1 for 1 and had quite a good at bat his last time around. He hit a home run. That's the only run scored by either team to this point. Yamamoto has since settled down. His pitch count's been relatively in control, and he's been getting outs. The Dodgers have just one hit to this point in the game, and the only hit was the solo home run by Gavin Lux. Too high, counts 2-1. Chopped on the ground and foul. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Gavin Lux strikes out to begin the fourth inning, or the bottom of the fourth inning. That's the 6th strikeout for Yamamoto. Take a look at the pitch speed comparisons now, sponsored by Topps. Now you see Walker Buehler lighting up the radar gun more than Yamamoto. Both pitchers pitching well, but Buehler has been consistently throwing in the high 90s all game. So 1 out, bottom of the fourth inning. That'll bring up Justin Turner. Turner 0 for 1 off Yamamoto. Last game, though, he went 2 for 4, hit a home run. Take strike 1 there. Yamamoto leaving the breaking ball up in the zone. And strike 2. Yamamoto ahead of Turner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just a bit high and outside. Count even 2-2. That one in the dirt. Snapped it off too harshly, and now the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's the reigning MVP of the National League on deck, Cody Bellinger. That's flied out toward right field, but that's headed toward the seats. No movement from the outfielders, and the count remains full, 3-2. Swing and a miss. Justin Turner went down for a ball, and he missed. Cervelli completes the strikeout, and that's number 7 now for Yamamoto. We have quite a pitcher's duel in this game between Buehler and Yamamoto. They each have 7 strikeouts now, and with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning, Cody Bellinger comes up to the plate. Bellinger 0 for 1. He started this year off cold, but since he's been moved around in the order a bit, he's heated up again. That's why his average is so low. For the month of April and for about the first half of May, he had struggled with the bat. But heated up in June and entering July, his numbers have been inflated a bit from where they were in that mid-May period. Hits that one against the shift, and he's got himself an extra base hit. Take a look at the Dodgers doubles leaders entering play, and now Cody Bellinger has tied Gavin Lux with 22 doubles at the top of that leaderboard. So with that, Corey Seager will come to the plate, the number 5 hitter. Has 49 RBIs at this point. And he's batting with a runner in scoring position. Bellinger also a plus runner. But Seager grounded out in his last at bat, which was in the second inning. That's strike two. Yamamoto well ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Just a bit inside. Counts 1 and 2. Cody Bellinger on second base. Yamamoto still ahead in the count. Just got over 70 pitches on his pitch count. Strike 3 called. That's number 8. 8 strikeouts for Jordan Yamamoto. The 4th inning is over. No runs on a hit for the Dodgers and 1 runner left on base. Going to inning 5, it's still 1-0. The Dodgers lead it. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I wonder if we could ask Heidi Watney what she thinks of the shift. Oh, well, we can't. But again, this is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game and all of our games brought to you by MLB The Show 20. My name is Nicholas Callis. There's Don Mattingly, the manager of the Marlins. Been around for a few seasons. Also the former manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Leading off for the Marlins.
6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Marlins. But if you want my opinion on the shift, I don't love it just because of the aesthetic of it. Like how the infield looks weird. But I also watched a short documentary a few years ago about how left-handed hitters, when they see a shift and they ground into that shift, for example, they would have had a hit without it, but they got shifted and they're pulling it and they keep getting out, it gets in players' heads. Now, maybe not every player, or maybe not every left-handed hitter's like that, but like the specific power-hitting pull hitters that get out because they see the infield alignment like that, it gets in their heads. Well, speaking of being in your head, Walker Buehler's probably in a lot of the Marlins' heads right now. 8 strikeouts. And you see their ERA leaders entering play in the National League. Walker Buehler second on that leaderboard. There's Kassadin Diaz, 1 on top of the 5th, but not that it necessarily is proven to work more, because statistically it doesn't necessarily work more, especially when you have a hitter that's good at using the entire field. But there are certain hitters that you can neutralize by getting in their head with the shift. Because if they keep grounding out to the right side and they're trying to get a good piece of the ball and pull it and create that torque, but they're grounding out and they're grounding into a loaded side of the field, it gets in their head. And that's just one of the elements of why managers do it. 2-1's the count on Kassadin Diaz, who's 0 for 1 against Walker Buehler, like so many hitters. Each team has just 2 hits coming into this 5th inning. The Dodgers just fortunate that one of their hits was a solo home run from Gavin Lux. Kassadin Diaz ahead in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike on him. That's ball 4 and a leadoff walk. Or excuse me, not a leadoff walk. That's a 1-out walk issued to Kassadin Diaz.
The batter, the shortstop, Miguel.
And that'll bring up Miguel Rojas, 0 for 1. Lined out in the 3rd inning. Rojas started his career with the Los Angeles Dodgers. That was back in 2014. He did get traded shortly after, though, to the Marlins in 2015. And he's been their starting shortstop ever since. Or at least one of a few starting shortstops, but Rojas, a great defender. And this season, he started off on a power surge. He had about 6 or 7 home runs toward the beginning of May. Rounds out one up the middle, but it's off Walker Buehler. Buehler throws to Beatty, but it's not in time. Miguel Rojas beats that out, and that will be scored, an infield single. Jordan Yamamoto will bat, which isn't a bad decision by Don Mattingly. Yamamoto will bunt. The only issue for the Marlins here is that Even if Yamamoto lays down a successful bunt, there will be 2 outs in the inning. And then again, Jonathan Villar's the one on deck, and he's come through in the clutch many times this season so far. Yamamoto gets the bunt down, played by Turner. They'll elect to go to first. Yamamoto out. That's a successful sacrifice. So Diaz on third and Rojas on second. 2 outs, top of the 5th. And here's Jonathan Villar. Villar accounts for 2 of the 8 strikeouts by Walker Buehler so far in this game. But a big position here for Villar. The tying run on third base. We're about the midpoint in this game. Strike 1 right over the middle of the plate. And you see there the Dodgers already have their bullpen active. Ross Stripling on the left and Adam Kolarek on the right. No ball, 1 strike pitch. Strike 2. Buehler a strike away from escaping danger, but also a poor pitch away from letting up his first run or runs of the game. Here we go, 0-2 pitch. Popped into the air, but that's out of Will Smith's reach. So everything will reset. Count still 0-2. He struck him out. Smith has to complete the strikeout, throws to Beatty. That's the hat trick for Jonathan Villar, and Buehler has now struck out 9 batters and has kept the Marlins shut out through 5 innings, going to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 1-0 Dodger lead. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Dodgers to begin this half inning. Jock Peterson, Matt Beatty, and Will Smith. Jock Peterson, he and Ross Stripling had an interesting offseason scenario because the Dodgers wanted to execute a trade with one of their crosstown and cross-state rivals, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Stripling and Peterson were supposed to be a part of the Angels, but a deal fell through because the Dodgers still couldn't complete their 3-way trade with the Twins and the Red Sox. As that belted out to center, that's going to fall, but it leaves the yard when it falls. That's gone. Jock Peterson with home run number 25. Might see him in the home run derby again come next Monday. But it's now a 2-0 Dodger lead. I didn't think this ball was going to carry as much as it did, but it's still daytime here in a sunny, warm California day. That ball just kept carrying and it left the yard. 2-0 Dodger lead. Still nobody out, bottom of the 5th. There's Matt Beatty. Takes strike 1. But yeah, Peterson and Stripling were supposed to become Angels, and the deal fell through. Of course, the Dodgers, Red Sox, and Twins did end up executing their 3-way trade. And it seems that every team has been benefiting from those trades in one way or the other. The Red Sox doing well at rebuilding. They're not the last place team in the AL East, and they've actually worked their way up since the beginning of the season. And then you have the Dodgers and the Twins, who were part of that deal as well. They have the 2 best records in Major League Baseball. Rojas to Aguilar, that's out number 1. Matt Beatty grounds out.
The bat, the catcher, Will Smith.
So 1 out, bottom of the 5th. There's Will Smith, who reached on an error in his first at bat. That's ball 1. Will Smith starting for Mitch Garver, who's on the bench with an injury. Still active, not a serious enough injury to land him injury list time.
That's the ball. 2-1 to count.
But here's Smith getting the start. 2-1 pitch. Ripped to third. Another well-hit ball from Smith, just right at a fielder. Anderson makes the catch, and there are now 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And with that, Walker Buehler will come to the plate. There were still a couple arms warming up in the Dodger bullpen, but perhaps Dave Roberts has a change of heart, since Jock Peterson led this inning off with a home run. Walker Buehler second in NL All-Star voting. There are several talented, hard, young throwing pitchers in the National League. Walker Buehler, one of them, one of the best this year. Definitely has a case for a Cy Young Award. Just have to see how this season plays out. But Steven Strasburg, the only other pitcher I can think of right now that in the National League that might be competing with Buehler for the starting spot in the National League. Well, Jock Peterson went deep. 2-0 Dodger lead on a couple home runs. We'll go to the 6th. There's Brian Anderson to lead off the top of the 6th for the Marlins, but to finish my thought, because I kind of lost it as we were going to quote-unquote break there, but Walker Buehler, talented pitcher, but one of the only pitchers I think that could challenge him for the National League starting spot on the mound in the All-Star game would be Steven Strasburg of the Nationals, who is also putting up great numbers this season. And he's taken on an ace's role, Strasburg has, ever since Max Scherzer got put on the injured list. So we'll see what happens at the All-Star game, just over a week away now. The Home Run Derby will be broadcast here next Monday along with the Futures game, and the All-Star game itself will be broadcast here next Tuesday. Exciting stuff. The first half of the season coming to a close. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Just a bit low. The count's full, 3-2. The Marlins have had a couple opportunities to score on Buehler. They've gotten runners in scoring position a few times, but still a 0 on the board. Walker Buehler pitching well. Buehler at 9 strikeouts, and he has a count on Anderson here where he's in position to get his 10th. That's ripped to left field. Now that would have been a home run, but it was foul. The count's still full, 3-2. Just a bit low, and Anderson with great discipline to lay off that pitch. The only thing that Walker Buehler struggled with in his start is walks. That's his 3rd or 4th of the game. But now here's Corey Dickerson, who singled in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 in total. On the ground, third base, passed Justin Turner into left field. And Kassadin Diaz is aboard. Back-to-back base runners on for the Marlins, and again they have an opportunity to score off Walker Buehler, and that will likely be scored a hit. Not a routine play for Turner at third base. It's outside, counts 1-0 to Jesus Aguilar, who doubled in the 2nd inning. Has 50 RBIs on the season along with 17 home runs. An RBI or a home run would benefit the Marlins. Here's this game getting close to the end. Saying the end's a bit of an exaggeration. Still the top of the 6th, still 3 innings coming up after this. But Aguilar in a hitter's count. On the ground left side, Turner with a diving stop. He might have a play at first. Tried to make the throw, but Aguilar beats it out. That's an infield single for Jesus Aguilar, and the Marlins have the bases loaded and nobody out. And Buehler will stay in the game to try to work it out of this initial dangerous situation. Here's Garrett Cooper. Takes ball one down low. Cooper is 0 for 2. Buehler has had a 9 strikeout performance. He's kept the Marlins scoreless coming into this 6th inning, but the Marlins again in position to score. That's foul. The count 1-1. Garrett Cooper acquired in a trade with the New York Yankees in 2017. Played first base for them, but has ventured into the outfield with the Marlins. Starting this game in right field. And he's ahead in the count against Buehler. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dodgers fans trying to get behind their pitcher. 2-1 pitch. That's inside in a dangerous spot here. Nowhere to put him. But Cooper, the kind of player that can elevate a ball if it's left over the middle of the plate. Soft fly ball out to right field. Betts can throw. Catch made. They're going to try to score. The throw home is offline. And Anderson scores from third base. Kassadin Diaz with alert base running moves from second to third on the play. And I'm going to correct myself right away. That's not Kassadin Diaz. That was Corey Dickerson advancing from second to third. Jesus Aguilar stays at first base. So that's a sacrifice fly for Garrett Cooper, and the Marlins have cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1, and here comes Dave Roberts. So Walker Buehler, at this very moment, is in line for the win. However, both the runners on base are his responsibility, so if Dickerson scores from third, Buehler will get a no decision in this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
And with that, here comes one of the 2 Dodgers long relievers. It's Ross Stripling making his 35th appearance of the season. Has an ERA of 1.32 and 47 2/3 innings pitched. And if the Dodgers didn't already have such a strong pitching rotation, Stripling might be in there, but he's been doing bullpen work for most of this season and for the most part has been thriving in that role. He's got to get out of a jam here. First and third, 1 out, and that's ball 1 to Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli was an international free agent signing of the New York Yankees. He made his debut with the Yankees about a decade ago as he comes through in the clutch off Ross Stripling. That's a base hit for Francisco Cervelli, and just like that, the Marlins have tied this game at 2. Cervelli strikes that one well. Just serves it into right field. So now Walker Buehler will get a no decision, and now there's another concern. Because Jesus Aguilar at second base is also Buehler's responsibility. One ball, no strike pitch on Kassadin Diaz. It's outside, counts 2-0. Dodgers pitching had been solid up until this 6th inning, but Walker Buehler started the inning and loaded the bases with Marlins with nobody out. Marlins got a sac fly from Garret Cooper and an RBI single from Francisco Cervelli. Aguilar on second, Cervelli on first. On the ground right side and foul. The count 2-1 on Kassadin Diaz, the second baseman of the Marlins. Got him to swing and miss. Counts even 2-2, though the Dodgers not out of trouble yet. Still 1 out and 2 runners on. Strike 3. Ross Stripling nets his first strikeout. So there are now 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop of the Marlins, also a former Dodger, Miguel Rojas. Rojas 1 for 2. He singled in his last at bat. The Marlins still with an opportunity to cash in some runs. They've put up 2 in this top of the 6th to tie it. They also chased Walker Buehler from the game, and he'll get a no decision after this start. Grounded right side, Gavin Lux. There he throws to Matt Beattie. And that ends the top of the 6th inning. But a sacrifice fly by Cooper and an RBI single by Cervelli allow the Marlins to tie the game. It's 2-2 going to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Your attention, please.
So Jordan Yamamoto done after 5 innings on the mound, so he'll get a no decision as well as the Marlins turn to their bullpen. It's Eliezer Hernandez making his 31st appearance of the season, and he has a 1.42 ERA in 57 innings pitched this season. Drew Steckenrider and Adam Connelly now warming up in the Marlins bullpen as well. But at the top of the order, do it for the Dodgers to begin this half inning. Mookie Betts, Gavin Lux, and Justin Turner. Betts has over 1,000 career hits. Some of those hits include ones from this season as well.
1-1.
Counts 1-1. Mookie Betts, former most valuable player in the American League, was the 2018 winner, the same year that the Red Sox won the World Series. Mookie Betts has also been a Gold Glove winner and a Silver Slug Award winner in the outfield when he played in the American League. This is the first National League team he's played for in his Major League career, and this is also the first new team he's ever played for in his Major League career. He was a lifetime Red Sox before getting traded. Came to the big leagues as a second baseman, but quickly adjusted to playing the outfield and became a great defensive outfielder. Such a talented player, just watching his versatility as well. I remember in the playoffs in 2018 when he and Kinsler got hurt, when Kinsler still played for the Red Sox, Betts moved from the outfield to play second base. And he fielded that position so well, just watching him exercise techniques of an infielder, such as staying in front of the ball. Sometimes he got down on 2 knees to make a play, and then he threw the ball accurately to first. It was just amazing to watch that, how great of an outfielder he was, but how much different his outfield form was from his infield form. And it was just impressive to watch him in the infield as much as it was to watch him in the outfield. And he's still an outfielder, but can also play second base. Line toward left field, and that'll be caught by Corey Dickerson. That's out number 1.
The batter, number 48.
So with 1 out, Gavin Lux will come up to the plate. Lux is 1 for 2 with a big solo home run that he hit in the first inning. Jock Peterson accounted for the other Dodgers run, I should say. He hit a solo home run himself.
0-1.
So 2 solo home runs in 2 separate innings have gotten the Dodgers 2 runs. The Marlins got both of their runs in the top of the 6th inning, and they were not on home runs. One was a sac fly and one was an RBI single. Hernandez ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. That's fouled off. The count's still 0-2. Jordan Yamamoto pitched 5 full innings for the Marlins. Struck out several batters. Gave up 2 earned runs. And he'll get a no decision as Gavin Lux strikes out there against Hernandez. Also, Walker Buehler pitched into the 6th inning. He pitched 6 1/3 innings. He also gave up 2 earned runs. He struck out 9 batters. And Buehler will also get a no decision. There's Justin Turner, 2 outs. Bases empty. See, that's a question I'm not sure that I can answer. That'd be a tough call. I could see why the Dodgers would sign Betts back, especially since they traded one of their future outfield players in Alex Verdugo. So maybe they'd spend the money on Betts again. But if they don't win the World Series, are there any other minor league outfielders they have that I'm not aware of that might get called up in 2021? Also, if we're talking virtual Major League Baseball, I don't know if the virtual Dodgers would sign him back, and I don't know if we're going to go that far. But in the real world, it's tough too, because we're talking about a 60-game season. It's not like 60 games is a fair assessment of whether a player should get signed back or not. So I think that's kind of a situation with other players too around the league where they're kind of in a tough spot, because this still counts as a year where everybody's going to get paid, whether it's full amounts or not. But it's 60 games, so it's kind of unfair, and it's kind of disappointing to some teams that they're not going to get some of their star players for a year that they might have traded for, or they might be taking on payments for. So I don't know. 2-2 game going to the 7th. Pedro Baez comes out of the bullpen. He'll now pitch for the Dodgers. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 9-1-2 hitters do it for the Marlins to begin this half inning. And don't forget, this game and all of our games here at MLB Virtual Network are brought to you by MLB The Show 20. But for the Marlins, it's Harold Ramirez coming off the bench. Ramirez, a young outfielder on this team. He's kind of been pushed back a bit. He was expected to be a right fielder for the Marlins, or maybe even a center fielder coming into this season. However, with all the acquisitions the Marlins made in the offseason, Ramirez has been pushed back to a bench role. And in his pinch hitting appearance here, he grounds out to Matt Beattie at first base. So one out for Pedro Baez on 2 pitches. And now the top of the order due up for the Marlins. It's Jonathan Villar, switch hitter batting from the left side. Villar is a former middle infielder. He started his career as a shortstop, then adjusted to second base. And now that he's been on the Marlins, he's been their consistent center fielder. A position that he's well versed in. He just hasn't played center too much since being in the majors. But this year, most of his starts have come in center field. That's fouled off. The count's to low 2. And yes, the Marlins do still have Matt Joyce, just as a veteran bench bat and a platoon starter. But the Marlins feeling confident in Dickerson in left, Villar in center, and Cooper in right. Swing and a miss. Jonathan Villar down for the 4th time. That's the golden sombrero for Jonathan Villar. Well, for a player that has been a good contact hitter most of the year, he's certainly doesn't look like it in this game. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Here's Brian Anderson. Walked twice in this game and scored once. 0 for 1 officially.
1 ball, no strike.
One ball, no strike count.
Yeah.
High strike counts 1-1. Baez throwing in the high 90s. That last pitch clocked at 99 miles per hour.
Ball.
That's ball. Counts 2-1. Baez, a longtime Los Angeles Dodger, has been one of their top relievers, and is a part of a bullpen that over the last few years has been quite elite.
2-2 the count.
Counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got him to chase. 2 strikeouts for Baez in the half inning. And the Marlins turned away in the top of the 7th. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. It's stretch time at Dodger Stadium. 2-2's the score. Marlins and Dodgers tied.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
There's a left-handed pitcher, Adam Connelly, coming on the mound. Connelly making his 46th appearance of the year, and over the last few years, Connelly's been in several roles with the Marlins. He's been experimented with as a starting pitcher. He's also been their closer, a long relief pitcher as well, sometimes a middle relief pitcher, and he's also been used in setup roles.
That's inside. That's the ball.
Now, he's certainly not been in the starting rotation this season, and certainly not closer, but he can play a long relief role or a setup role. This team, Mattingly's been pretty flexible with him. He's facing the middle of the Dodgers order to begin this half inning. Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, and Jock Peterson. But a tight game, 2-2's the score. To the bottom of the 7th inning. Strike one on Bellinger. Before Pete Alonso came into the picture, Cody Bellinger in his rookie season in 2017 set the National League single-season rookie home run record with 39 homers. Of course, Pete Alonso broke Bellinger's and Aaron Judge's record by hitting 53. Two-ball, two-strike pitch. That's inside, counts full 3-2. Cody Bellinger started his career as a first baseman, but has since been moved to the outfield and has excelled there defensively. Again, Cody Bellinger beats the shift, and again, Bellinger will have an extra base hit. This time with nobody out. And there's the Dodgers' go-ahead run in scoring position. Well, Seager's a left-handed hitter. And then Peterson's also a lefty. As that pitch hit high and deep to right field, it crosses into foul territory. The count's 0-1. But Connelly put in specifically to play matchup, because the next three Dodgers hitters are left-handed, and I mean Bellinger, Seager, and Peterson are left-handed hitters. And remember baseball's new rule about facing three hitters minimum or recording the final out of an inning. That's into center field, and the throw's offline. Cody Bellinger scores from second. Corey Seager now with 50 RBIs this season. And the Dodgers have the lead again. It's 3-2. Look at that. Seager doesn't try to do too much with that pitch. Doesn't try to pull it. Or do anything super special or superhuman. He just hits a sharp ground ball up the middle. And nets himself both a base hit and an RBI. Now here's Jock Peterson, who hit a solo home run in the 5th inning, which accounted for the Dodgers' second run of the game. The Dodgers have scored on a couple solo home runs and an RBI single. Swing and a miss, counts quickly 0-2. And there's another lefty coming up in the Dodgers order, and Matt Beattie.
That's the ball.
So we'll see how much longer Adam Connelly stays in the game. Connelly's had more or less of a roller coaster of a career so far.
2-2.
He's had a few outings where he's done well, but he's also struggled in many other outings. And if he hasn't done really well or done really poorly, he's kind of been in the middle. Nothing spectacular or outstanding from this young left-handed pitcher so far in his career. 3-ball, 2-strike pitch. That's a high fly ball. Deep into right field. Garrett Cooper seems to have a play. He makes the catch. Back to first goes Corey Seager. That's out number 1. So first out of the inning for the Marlins in their defensive half of the 7th. And with that, Matt Beattie will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's lined out and grounded out in this game. Still has an average above 320. And entering play, he had 7 home runs and 30 RBIs, which he still had because he hasn't hit a home run or driven any runs in this game so far. As mentioned before, Beatty filling in for Max Muncy, who's on the injured list for the rest of 2020. But Beatty's been doing well. 2-0's the count. He's been doing well, and he's been an everyday starter, something that he didn't expect to happen, but it's been a weird turn of events for Dodgers first baseman in recent history, as that's popped into the air. Diaz makes the catch. That's out number 2. But Adrian Gonzalez, ever since he was traded in 2012 from the Red Sox to the Dodgers, had been the starting first baseman. In 2017, Gonzalez got injured, and Cody Bellinger got called up from the minors to start. And, you know, the story on Bellinger, pretty straightforward. And Adrian Gonzalez never played again for the Dodgers. But then Bellinger got moved to the outfield in 2018. The Dodgers had signed Max Muncy, who came up and played first base, and Muncy did super well. And now Muncy's hurt, and he'll be out for the rest of 2020, and now Beatty getting a chance to be the starter. It's been an interesting sequence of Dodger first basemen over the last few seasons. Will Smith strikes out there against Adam Connelly. That ends the 7th inning, but the Dodgers get another run thanks to a Corey Seager RBI single. And after 7 full innings, the Dodgers have a 3-2 lead over the Marlins. We'll go to the 8th. Here's Dave Roberts coming out of the Dodger dugout. And listen in, because this most likely will be a double switch.
Your attention, please. The changes for the Dodgers. Now pitching and batting in the 8th. Number 56, Adam Connelly. Now pitching and batting 9th. Number 15, Austin Vaughn.
Okay, so the double switch allows for the Dodgers to have a hitter in the number 9 spot when the bottom of the 8th inning rolls around. But first, that's rocked into left field, and that's going to go over the wall on a bounce. Automatic double for Corey Dickerson. And the Marlins have the potential tying run in scoring position to lead off the top of the 8th inning. Nobody out.
Your attention, please.
And John Birdie will run for Corey Dickerson.
Number 5, John.
And here's Jesus Aguilar, who's 2 for 3, has a couple hits in this one, including an extra base hit. Also has an infield single. That's ball 1. But the Dodgers have put Adam Kolarek in the game, and Kolarek batting in the 8th spot. That's where the pitcher spot was moved to. And Austin Barnes is now catching and batting 9th. As that's fouled off. So a new battery for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Austin Barnes will lead off when the bottom of the 8th inning rolls around. That's foul. Counts 1 and 2. Down low, counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pivotal spot in this game, runner in scoring position and nobody out. That stop foul, the count's still even 2 and 2. Aguilar could have a productive at bat if he at least moves that potential tying run over to third base. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Adam Kolarek. And with that, we'll look at the starter comparison for both pitchers who started in this game. Each pitcher went 5 innings. Each pitcher gave up 2 earned runs. Close amount of hits given up and strikeout numbers as well. Though Yamamoto didn't walk a batter. Yamamoto struck out 8 and Walker Buehler struck out 9. Great performances by both starters in this game. And they pitched so evenly that neither pitcher will get a decision in this game. It will be a bullpen decision for both teams. Garrett Cooper's 0 for 2, but he had a sacrifice fly in his last plate appearance. That was one of 2 Marlins runs. Scored in the top of the 6th inning. The Dodgers got their runs before that. They got a Gavin Lux solo home run in the 1st inning. And then Jock Peterson hit a solo home run in the 5th. Of course, the Dodgers took the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning with a Corey Seager RBI single that scored Cody Bellinger. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Foul ball, count still 1-2. Still a pivotal spot here, but Kolarek got a huge strikeout of Jesus Aguilar. Count's even now 2-2. Corey Dickerson doubled to lead off this inning. John Birdie, pinch runner, running for him at second. Grounded left side. Birdie gets back to second as Seager throws it high, but Beatty brings it down. So Kolarek, following the double, gets 2 outs. That'll bring up Francisco Cervelli, who hit an RBI single in the top of the 6th inning. And that RBI single tied the game at that point. Now Cervelli in another run-scoring spot with John Birdie in scoring position. Grounded left side, there's Seager. Throws to Beatty. And the top of the 8th inning is over. So Kolarek works around the leadoff double. Gets 3 straight outs and leaves a runner stranded in scoring position. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning, it's 3-2. The Dodgers lead the Marlins. So John Birdie will stay in the game and play left field for Corey Dickerson.
Number 5, John Birdie.
And a new pitcher coming in for the Marlins, Drew Steckenrider,
Number 71.
making his 55th appearance of the year and has 3.61 ERA and 47 and a third innings pitched. 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Dodgers: Austin Barnes, Mookie Betts, and Gavin Lux. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. My name is Nicholas Callis. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, MLB Virtual Network, the name. You'll get notified on when we go live and when we upload videos. You can also follow our Twitter page. The handle is @VirtualMLB. High fly ball. Now toward right field. Garrett Cooper under it. He makes the catch. Barnes set down in his first at bat. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning, and Mookie Betts is coming to the plate. But also keep in mind as you're watching the network that we feature 3 guaranteed games every day in an effort to make sure that every Major League Baseball team is featured at least once a week. Some teams are fortunate enough to get 2 features during the week, but we try to get every team in at least once every week. So with that in mind, you can check out our schedule. It's pinned to the top of our Twitter page in a laid out schedule form, and also we have our schedule on YouTube. If you go to the home page of our YouTube channel, you can find the upcoming live stream section. You click on the words upcoming live streams, and you'll see every game coming up, and we post a new schedule at the beginning of every week. Mookie Betts strikes out swinging there. So Steckenrider comes out of the bullpen and gets 2 quick outs. There comes Gavin Lux, the number 2 hitter. Lux with just 1 hit in this game, but it was a crucial hit. It was a solo home run back in the 1st inning. And each run that each of these teams have scored to this point have mattered. This game close, a 1-run game, 3-2. In the bottom of the 8th inning. Right side and foul. The count quickly 0-2. Strike 3 called, and a quick inning for Drew Steckenrider. He gets 2 strikeouts, 3 straight outs, and it's still a 1-run game. Last chance for the Marlins offense coming up in the top of the 9th.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the
Here comes Kenley Jansen on the mound,
74.
who has been perfect this season in his save opportunities. 30 for 30 with an opportunity to get his 31st save and his 36th appearance of the season. And he's also one of the best relief pitchers around, especially in terms of limiting runs. He has a .79 ERA entering play. And he'll face the bottom of the Marlins order to begin this ninth inning. Kassadin Diaz, Miguel Rojas, and then a mystery hitter in the number 9 spot. One ball, no strike count on the young second baseman of the Marlins. It's a foul ball, the count 1-1. Kassadin Diaz made his debut last season. Here he is now as an everyday player. The Dodgers have a commanding NL West lead, while the Marlins looking to keep pace in the NL East. The Marlins are in second place behind the Nationals, but the Nationals won today, so a loss here would move the Marlins a game back of first place, up to 4 games back. The Marlins also competing for a wild card spot. They have the second wild card spot in the National League. They're below the Diamondbacks, and they're a game ahead of the Braves. That's bobbled at third by Turner. He tries to recover, but it's not in time. And Kassadin Diaz reaches on an error by Justin Turner. And with that, Miguel Rojas will come to the plate, and while the Marlins have the potential tying run on base, we'll see what trickery the Marlins come up with. Whether they'll have Rojas swing the bat, or try to play small ball and bunt him into scoring position. Well, that's strike one, and Rojas didn't show bunt, so let's see how this turns out. But this game certainly has more impact on the Marlins than it does the Dodgers. The Dodgers have a safe lead in the NL West, though we've seen in recent history that no division lead is safe. But for the short term, the Dodgers not in any danger. The Marlins are, though. That's fouled off. The count's still 0-2. Kenley Jansen pitching to Austin Barnes, who was entered into the game last inning. He replaced Will Smith. No ball, 2-strike pitch. It's outside. The count's 1-2. Fans getting a bit restless after Kassadin Diaz reached on an error. That's a pop-up. Foul territory. Beatty running after it, and he's able to make the catch. Kassadin Diaz stays on first base. That's the first out of the top of the ninth inning, and now the number 9 spot in the order coming up. And the Marlins will elect to send Jorge Alfaro to the plate. Alfaro is the backup catcher of the Marlins. A split time with Francisco Cervelli at that position, though Cervelli has taken up most of the playing time. Jorge Alfaro is a former Philadelphia Philly. He was acquired by the Marlins in a trade that sent JT Realmuto to the Phillies. The Marlins anticipating he'll be the catcher of the future, but they also wanted some stability in their depth, so that's one of the reasons why they signed Francisco Cervelli in the offseason. Top foul, the count 2-1. Yeah, it's a special interleague week this week because there are inter-city games going on. Like the Reds playing the Indians, for example, the Mets and Yankees. So we did that intentionally, and the Rays and Cardinals got swept in there as well. We wanted to do an Angels-Dodgers game, but it just didn't fit well in the schedule, and plus the Dodgers had some more interesting league games to play, National League games to play, so that's why we elected that. But yeah, several interleague games this week. Out toward left, played by Peterson. That's out number 2. The throw's offline, though. Picked up by Beatty. Kassadin Diaz stays on first base. There are now 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. The Marlins with 1 out to work with, and here comes Jonathan Villar, who has struck out 4 times in this game. And in a pivotal spot here, and can turn around his entire day with a clutch hit. That's a base hit, so this game extended a bit for the moment. Potential tying run now in scoring position at second base. And Jonathan Villar with 4 strikeouts, but 1 for 5 officially after this single. And Villar a plus runner as well. There's a potential opportunity that he could score on the ball hitting the gap. Kassadin Diaz a pretty decent runner himself, so with 2 outs, if he runs at full speed, he might be able to score. So a tense moment. 1 ball, no strike pitch, just a bit outside. Counts 2-0. Hitters count on Brian Anderson. Kassadin Diaz, a runner on second. Would be an unearned run scored on Kenley Jansen. Justin Turner made an error
3-0
on the ball hit to him that allowed Diaz to reach to open up this half inning. Three ball, no strike pitch. Anderson had the green light on 3-0 and he fouled that off. The count's 3-1. Even though that run wouldn't be earned, Kenley Jansen would still be charged with blowing the save, something he hasn't done yet this year. He's 30 for 30. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. Well, this is quite the situation we have now. The bases are loaded. The Marlins' potential tying run is in the form of Kassadin Diaz at third base. The potential go-ahead run is Jonathan Villar, who's a plus runner at second. And now John Birdie will come up to the plate. Birdie pinch ran for Corey Dickerson, who hit a double last inning. This is a big bat taken out of the Marlins order as well. John Birdie not the strongest hitter, but of course in situations like this, anything can happen. No ball, 1 strike pitch. Ground ball, base hit into right. Betts will come up throwing. Diaz scores from third base, and this game is tied at 3.
The first baseman, Jesus Aguilar.
And with that, Jansen's going to get a mound visit. That run is unearned to Kenley Jansen, but he is charged with blowing the save. Justin Turner made an error to start this top of the 9th inning, and that was Diaz who reached. Diaz, the one who scored the tying run for the Marlins. So again, an unearned run to Kenley Jansen, but Jansen has blown his first save of the season. And now here's Jesus Aguilar, who could give the Marlins the lead and perhaps turn this game on its ear on 1 pitch, or with 1 swing of the bat. But the Marlins are breathing. 2 ball, no strike pitch. Ooh, that was left up in the zone, but Aguilar couldn't get a good piece of the bat on the ball. Now the count's 2-1. That's a quote, Hawk. Hawk Harrelson's one of my favorite announcers. But yes. Yeah. Yes, I understand. I know what reference, or I know what game you're referencing. Or games, actually, because he said that more than once. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch. Coming to Jesus Aguilar. Base is still loaded. That's fouled off. The count's to leave it 2-2, and Kenley Jansen has been forced to work in this half inning. He's had to pitch around an error, but couldn't successfully pitch around it because the Marlins tied the game. And he's getting close to 30 pitches just in this inning. That's popped up. Shallow center. Seems Gavin Lux has a play, and he makes the catch. Top of the ninth inning is over, but Kenley Jansen blows the save, partly to an error committed by Justin Turner and an unearned run that crossed the plate, but that unearned run was the tying run, and it's 3-3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here's Stephen Tarpley on the mound now for the Marlins, making his 33rd appearance of the season. Former New York Yankee, was traded to the Marlins this past offseason. Justin Turner, the leadoff hitter for the Marlins, coming to the plate. But to answer that question that Eric Ledford posed, I don't have too much of an opinion about Mark Pryor being a pitching coach. I just know he was a good pitcher, and I'm sure that he has some good advice to give. Kind of indifferent to it. 1-ball, no-strike pitch. Ground ball, right side, foul ball. Counts even at 1. Two and one's the count. See Brandon Kinsler and Sterling Sharp now warming up in the bullpen for the Marlins. Marlins have a breath of fresh life after tying the game up in the top of the ninth inning. And from the start, this game was even. Jordan Yamamoto and Walker Buehler each pitched 5 innings. They each gave up 2 earned runs. They each struck out a healthy amount. Yamamoto with 8 strikeouts and Buehler with 9. Neither of them will get a decision in this game. But late offense has sparked a 3-3 tie. And potential extra innings, but not with this kind of start. Stephen Tarpley walks the leadoff batter.
the center fielder, number 35, Cody Bellinger.
So Turner on is the potential winning run in this game. And with that, Cody Bellinger will come up to the plate. He's beaten the shift a couple times in this game. Both of his doubles were to the left side and where the infield was vacant. But now he'll bat here with a normal infield and a runner on, nobody out. Bottom of the ninth inning. This is where the Marlins bullpen will be tested. Their pitching staff hasn't been the strongest in the National League. It's been their offense that has been keeping them in games and has been keeping them a playoff contender. Of course, the Dodgers have one of the most elite offenses in the game as well, so we'll see what kind of turnout will happen. That's foul, the count. 1-2. Fouled away. The count still 1-2 on Bellinger, the reigning National League most valuable player, also a former All-Star. Might see him in the All-Star game just because the Dodgers will be hosting it. That gets away from Francisco Cervelli, and the winning run. Justin Turner moves into scoring position. And while Cervelli meets with Tarpley on the mound, just like to remind everybody watching right now that this network will be holding an All-Star game. You can check that out. We'll have the Futures game during the day on Monday. The Home Run Derby will be broadcast at night on Monday. And then Tuesday, we'll have the All-Star game. So just to give you specific dates, because now that I have a calendar in front of me, Monday, July the 13th, Futures game during the day, All-Star game at an undetermined time at night, and then, Home Run Derby at an undetermined time at night, and then Tuesday, July the 14th, we'll have an All-Star game. So be sure to check that out. I'll be calling all three, the Futures game, the Home Run Derby, and the All-Star game, so be sure to check it out. But Bellinger grounds out to Brian Anderson, and with one out, Bottom of the ninth, runner still in scoring position. Here's Corey Seager. Seager 1 for 3, and his only single resulted in an RBI. It was the third run that the Dodgers scored. The other 2 runs were on solo homers in different innings by Gavin Lux and Jock Peterson. But Seager in another run-scoring opportunity. Two ball, no strike pitch. Just a bit inside. Counts 3-0. That was a close pitch. And now Cervelli telling Tarpley to settle down a bit. Jock Peterson's on deck. Tarpley will have the matchup advantage for the next few hitters as that misses. So they pitch around Seager, and now Jock Peterson will come to the plate. And before any other advancement, Chris Taylor will pinch run for Corey Seager, which is an interesting move because Taylor is not the winning run in this situation. But hey, it's baseball for you. Jock Peterson hit a home run in the 5th inning. It was the Dodgers' second of 3 runs they scored in this game, and now Peterson with another chance to drive across a run, or push across a run, so to speak. He won't need a home run to do that. He just needs a base hit into a gap. 1-1's a strike. The count's 1-2. Matt Beattie on deck. And a line drive into right. That's a foul ball. Tarpley's thrown 22 pitches this inning. 10 of them have been strikes. That's popped up left side, and that'll go foul. Swing and a miss. What a huge strikeout for Stephen Tarpley. Not out of danger yet, but there are now 2 outs on the board, and a big hitter in the Dodgers lineup neutralized. That'll bring up Matt Beattie, and even though one hitter struck out, still got some dangerous hitters coming up. This entire lineup should be feared. But Beattie 0 for 3 in this game, popped out in his last at bat. The Dodgers still with an opportunity to walk it off in the bottom of the 9th inning. And oh, look at that, Beattie got hit. And that loads the bases, and he's not happy with that. Kind of that up and in pitch that many hitters don't like to be the victim of. Sometimes pitches slip, but doesn't mean hitters will be any less upset. So now the number 8 spot coming up in the Dodgers order, but before we have the hitter revealed, we'll take a look at the new pitcher for the Marlins. It's Sterling Sharp, making his 48th appearance of the season, has a 3.39 ERA and 58 1/3 innings pitched. And this is a crucial moment as we take a look at who comes off the Dodgers bench. It's A.J. Pollock. Pollock signed with the Dodgers in the offseason before this most recent one. Injuries have kept him off the field, though, and he's been reduced to a bench role ever since Cody Bellinger has been filling in center. And since the acquisition of Mookie Betts in right and Jock Peterson being a power threat in left field, no room for Pollock at the moment. And Pollock ahead now, 2 balls and no strikes. Sterling Sharp just came out of the bullpen. That's foul down the left field side. Counts 2-1. Pollock, a former All-Star with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Was a very shaky player, though. Never had too much consistency, at least as an offensive player. Strike 3 on the swing. The Marlins The pitching staff working a magic act. Escaping a bases-loaded situation, keeping the Dodgers at bay. And here comes inning number 10. Chris Taylor fills in for Corey Seager, who he pinch ran for. So Taylor now the shortstop. And since Kenley Jansen got pinch hit for, Dylan Floro will come out of the Dodgers bullpen and make his 36th appearance of the season. Quite a game we have here. As Garrett Cooper comes to the plate, we'll give you a quick recap on how we got to this point. The Dodgers started scoring right in the first inning with a Gavin Lux solo home run. Then in the 5th inning, the Dodgers padded their lead with a Jock Peterson solo home run. In the top of the 6th inning, the Marlins got 2 runs on a Garret Cooper sacrifice fly and on a Francisco Cervelli RBI single. Look at that play from Justin Turner. Out number 1. But then in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Dodgers scored their 3rd run after Corey Seager singled home Cody Bellinger from second base. And then the Marlins were able to tie the game in the top of the 9th inning after having a couple fortunate circumstances go their way. Turner makes another play, pop out in foul territory. That's out number 2. So top of the 10th inning, there are 2 quick outs induced by Dylan Floro, and that'll bring up Kassadin Diaz now. Diaz 0 for 3. Though he had an important at-bat back in the 9th inning. He reached on an error, and he scored the tying run. Joe Kelly and Blake Trinan, 2 veteran relievers, now warming up in the Dodger bullpen. Floro working through this inning quickly, though. That's strike 1 on Diaz. Diaz made his Major League debut last season, and so far this year has been the everyday starter at second base for the Marlins, and he's been putting up numbers as if he's an everyday starter. Fouled away, and the count now 1-2. That's fouled away. The count's still 1-2 on Diaz. 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 10th inning. Marlins and Dodgers tied at 3. Ground ball right side. Gavin Lux. Routine play. Throws to Beatty. And that ends the top of the 10th inning. So the Marlins fail to score. They go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 10th. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th inning with this game knotted up. 3 runs apiece. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Dodgers to begin this half inning. Austin Barnes, Mookie Betts, and Gavin Lux. But don't forget, if you want notifications on when we go live and when we upload videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, MLB Virtual Network. And you can also follow our Twitter page, @VirtualMLB is the handle. Many ways to follow our virtual Major League Baseball league. It's here at MLB Virtual Network. Counts 1 and 2. But just a reminder for all of our viewers, if you check out our homepage on YouTube, you can see an update section that has several results and standings update videos. We cover all 30 teams every day in those results and standings updates. So even if your team isn't featured in any of the games of the day, you can still follow how your team did in its individual game. You can follow all 6 divisions and the 2 wildcard standings throughout Major League Baseball. And you can check out league leaders in that video as well. You can see who the best players are from each league. So be sure to check it all out. Trying to enhance your experience of Major League Baseball while we won't have an 162-game season this year. That's ball 2 to Austin Barnes. But yeah, 3 guaranteed games every day. We have a schedule posted on YouTube and Twitter, and it gets refreshed every week. We make the schedule out every week to try to find the best games from every week for each upcoming week, and we also try to feature every Major League team at least once every week. So if you like what you're watching, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Twitter page. And also, my name's Nicholas Callis. I'm a real human being, so feel free to interact with me in the live chat as well and start baseball discussions with me and anybody else who's watching this as well. That's ball 4. Austin Barnes works a leadoff walk. So he represents the potential winning run, and he's at first base. Now here's Mookie Betts, who is 0 for 4 out of the leadoff spot in the Dodgers order. Has an opportunity to play hero, though. Sterling Sharp came in last inning, got the final out of the 9th. And starts off this 10th inning with a walk. Now facing a dangerous part of the Dodgers order. That's into right field, a base hit for Mookie Betts as Cooper gets that in quickly to third base. So now Barnes is on second and Betts on first. Though Barnes is the only run that matters as he stands in scoring position. That'll bring up Gavin Lux, 1 for 4, but had a crucial at bat in hindsight. Hit a solo home run back in the first inning, scored the first Dodgers run, and like I mentioned before, every run scored in this game from both teams has mattered. It's gotten us to this 3-3 tie in extras. Lux showing bunt, and he gets it down the third base line. Anderson plays. He'll throw to second. They get Betts out at second base. Oh, and that's a crucial play because now there's 2 forces in order, one at second and one at first. Potential double play would get them out of this 10th inning. But also, their middle of the order, their heart of the order, coming up. Justin Turner, 0 for 3. He walked in the 9th inning. Well, the Dodgers, earlier in the season, have been known to execute suicide squeezes. And this very well could be one of those opportunities, although would be a risky move considering that your best power bats are coming up as the next 4 hitters. Turner, Bellinger, Seager, and Peterson. And I correct myself, right as I said Seager, I realized that he got taken out. Taylor is now batting 5th in the order. Chris Taylor. One ball, 1 strike count. A double play would get the Marlins out of this inning. A base hit would win the Dodgers the game. Fouled off, the count now 1-2. Also, as mentioned before, this game a much bigger game for the Marlins than the Dodgers. The Dodgers have an 11.5 game NL West lead, while the Marlins are still fighting for a wild card spot. And it's realistic that they could take the NL East away from the Nationals. This game important too because the Nationals won today, so for the Marlins to keep pace, they would have to win today or else they'll fall 4 games back of first place in the NL East. Counts full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count pitch. That's a fly ball, shallow right field. And Barnes is not tagging at third base. He'll retreat back to third as Cooper gets a tag. Villar, the cutoff man.
Now batting, the center fielder.
So no Dodgers win yet.
Bellinger.
Now Cody Bellinger will bat with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th inning. That's fouled off, the count 0-1. Bellinger has a couple hits in this game. Both of his hits were doubles. 2 for 4 officially. No ball, 1 strike count. Right side and foul, the count's 0-2. What a miracle would it be if the Marlins could escape danger twice late in this game. Sterling Sharp has thrown 22 pitches in the inning. He got the final out of the 9th inning, and for the sake of his team, he's got to get the final out of this 10th, and he does! Swing and a miss by Bellinger. The Marlins again escape danger with runners in scoring position. Well, 10 not enough to complete this game. We'll go to inning 11. This game is tied at 3. Well, this is Major League Baseball's virtual network, and my name's Nicholas Callis. This game and all of our games brought to you by sponsorship and literally brought to you by MLB The Show 20. Without this technology, we wouldn't be able to simulate games as well as we do. But 8-9-1 hitters do up in the Marlins order. Miguel Rojas in the pitcher's spot, and then back to the top for Jonathan Villar. 2-ball, no strike count on Rojas. Rojas, a former Los Angeles Dodger, played 1 year in LA in 2014, and then he got traded to the Marlins, where he's played here ever since 2015. It's one of the more exciting games I've ever called on this network this year. And a leadoff walk issued to Miguel Rojas.
The pitcher, number 56, Sterling Sharp.
So with that, the number 9 spot will come up. Sterling Sharp, the named hitter right now, but that's going to change. Here's Matt Joyce.
Number 7,
Matt Joyce will pinch hit. Joyce just signed with the Marlins this past offseason. .216 hitter with 5 home runs and 11 RBIs. Not a huge sample size for him. There were rumors that he might have started for the Marlins, but the Marlins outfield right now has Dickerson in left, Villar in center, and Cooper in right. So he's been a bat that's come off the bench and has gotten spot starts, but nothing consistent. 0-2 pitch from Floro. Toward the middle, base hit for Matt Joyce off the bench, which moves the potential go-ahead run into scoring position. That's Miguel Rojas going to second base. Dylan Floro also pitching in his second inning. He got 3 outs in the top of the 10th inning. Now pitching in the 11th with 2 on and nobody out. Here's Jonathan Villar, who shows bunt and pulls back. Villar had a huge at-bat in the 9th inning, despite striking out 4 times in this game. He got a single that advanced Kassadin Diaz into scoring position, and Kassadin Diaz later scored. So he put his golden sombrero aside, got on base, which ultimately led to the Marlins tying the game. 2-1's the count. Floro not finding the zone, and Villar making an attempt to sacrifice bunt both of those runners into scoring position. He gets one down. Turner anticipating charges, tries for his second, and he throws it offline. Turner tried to throw it to second, but the throw pulled Gavin Lux off the base. So either way, that's an error at most, a fielder's choice at least, but the bases are loaded and there's nobody out. And look at Brian Anderson out to right field. That ball's foul. The count's 0-1. Oh my goodness, what a game this has been. And geez, so many intense late moments. Roberts trusting Floro, leaving him in, and that's blooped out the left. Base hit. The go-ahead run comes in to score. Miguel Rojas scores from third base. Matt Joyce moves from second to third. Jonathan Villar moves from first to second. And aboard with his first RBI of the game is Brian Anderson. He's on first. The bases are still loaded. There's nobody out. And Dave Roberts will now go to his bullpen. Here comes Blake Trinan, making his 32nd appearance of the year and has a .345 ERA and 31 1/3 innings pitched so far this year. Trinan, a former product of the Washington Nationals, Became one of the top relievers in the American League when he played for the Oakland Athletics. And just this past offseason, he signed with the Dodgers. Turner to Barnes, over to Beatty, and that's a double play. Out at home, Matt Joyce, and out at first is John Birdie. So a crucial couple outs for the Dodgers. However, there are still 2 runners in scoring position. And Dave Roberts elects to walk Jesus Aguilar intentionally. So that'll bring up Garrett Cooper.
Now batting, right fielder, Garrett.
Cooper is 0 for 4, and while his team has the lead at the moment, he could break the game open with a big hit here. 2 outs, so all the runners will have a head start, not having to worry about tagging up. Pivotal moment in this game. This game's still not out of reach yet. Top of the 11th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs, a run in for the Marlins. Got it past him, counts 0-1. That's strike 2.
1-2.
Swing and a miss. Blake Trinan gets the strikeout of Garrett Cooper. So last chance for the Dodgers coming up in the bottom of the 11th. The Marlins have their first lead of the game. It's 4-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Here comes Brandon Kinsler.
Number 20.
Has an opportunity to save his 24th game of the year.
Leading up for the Dodgers, the shortstop, Chris Taylor.
Nathaniel Puali. Really hope I pronounced that correctly, but hello. Nice of you to join us for this wonderful baseball game on a Sunday afternoon / evening, depending on where you are geographically in the United States or the world. No ball, 2 strike count on Chris Taylor, the number 5 hitter. Taylor came in and pitch ran for Corey Seager earlier in the game, so that's why he's batting in his spot now. Strike 3 called. Kinsler gets Taylor to strike out on 3 pitches. That's out number 1. Also, I don't know how many career grand slams Garrett Cooper has, so I'm sorry I couldn't provide you with that information. Shame on me. But with 1 out, bottom of the 11th inning, here's Jock Peterson. Peterson 1 for 4 with a solo home run he hit in the 5th inning.
No, that missed. That's the ball. Wow.
One ball, no strike count. That's hit high and deep. Right field. That's off the wall. Man, that was a few inches away from getting out of here, but Peterson will get halfway home. He's in scoring position with 1 out. Man, I thought we were about to have a tie game again on Peterson's 2nd home run. Not quite. Just missed a home run. Now here's Matt Beatty with an opportunity to drive in a potential tying run. Again, Kinsler still looking for a save in this game. Kenley Jansen, his closer opponent, blew the save in the 9th inning, allowing the Marlins to tie the game. The Marlins just took the lead in the top of the 11th inning. That's fouled off. The count quickly 0-2, and although the Marlins have the lead late, this game far from over with how good the Dodgers offense is. 0-2 pitch. Oh, he hit him. Matt Beatty got hit again. So now it's 1st and 2nd. And 1 out.
Your attention, please. Who's hitting for the Dodgers? Number 14,
So Kike Hernandez will come off the bench because the pitcher spot, due to a double switch, is now the 8th spot in the order. So Hernandez has the Dodgers' potential go-ahead run in scoring position in the form of Jock Peterson, and the winning run now on first base is Matt Beaty. Two and oh's the count. Three and oh's the count. My goodness. I'm nearly speechless because I'm a bit worried myself. Not that I'm too concerned with who wins, just what's the result of this game going to be? Counts 3-1. Three ball, one strike count on Kike Hernandez. That's strike two. And it's like a roller coaster with these Dodgers fans. Every ball is cheers and every strike is boos. Kinsler still with the opportunity to save the game. That's fouled away. Hernandez reached out after it, but at least he was able to get part of the bat on the ball. So the count's still full 3-2. Fouled off again. A great pitch by Kinsler, but spoiled by Hernandez. Hernandez, a utility player on the bench of the Dodgers. Though he had some good postseasons with the Dodgers in recent years. And he walks. My good word. The Marlins have been skating on thin ice throughout this entire game. They didn't give up any runs despite the Dodgers getting runners on base in the 9th. When the game was tied at 3, they didn't give up any runs. In the 10th, the Dodgers had a few runners on throughout that inning. Kept the game tied at 3. Now they have the lead in the 11th, but the bases are loaded with one out. And so now the winning runs in scoring position. Matt Beaty at second, Jock Peterson at third. Kike Hernandez doesn't mean too much at first base, though. For the Marlins' sake, they do have a double play in order, both at the corners and up the middle. Strike two called on Austin Barnes, who came in as a defensive replacement for Will Smith late in the game. That's up the middle. That's a base hit. One run will come in. And they stopped Matt Beaty at third base. But this game is tied at 4. Austin Barnes with an RBI single that scores Jock Peterson from third base. And the bases are still loaded with one out. Brandon Kinsler has blown the save. And with that, he will be removed from the game for Ryan Stanek. I'm nearly in disbelief at this game. Ryan Stanek making his 25th appearance of the season, has a 3.91 ERA in 25 1/3 innings pitched. Stanek was the closer to end last year. He's also a former relief pitcher with the Tampa Bay Rays, but now playing for the Marlins. Got traded to the Marlins in the middle of last year. Didn't have to move states, though, moving from Tampa Bay to Miami. But now the top of the order due up for the Marlins. Or excuse me, now the top of the order due up for the Dodgers. The double play still in order, but a dangerous part of the Dodgers order up. In the top, Mookie Betts, Gavin Lux, and Justin Turner. The next 3 hitters scheduled to bat. Ground ball left side, just foul. The count's 0-2. Man. No ball, 2-strike pitch. Strike 3 called over the inside edge. 98 miles per hour from Ryan Stanek. And Betts has some words to give to the home plate umpire after this call. Hey, you be the judge on that. Take a look at it from this view. 2 outs, bottom of the 11th. Yimi Garcia now warming up. And the Marlins bullpen, he's a right-handed pitcher. And here's Gavin Lux. His only hit so far was back in the first inning. It was a solo home run. One ball, no strike pitch. Just a bit inside, counts 2-0, and Stanek has nowhere to put Lux. The Marlins can't afford to give up another run. That's foul, and Stanek on the board now. 2-1's the count. Matt Beatty, the winning run. Standing at third base. Hernandez on second. Two ball, two strike count. Oh my goodness. Ladies, gentlemen, and all others, there is a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Gavin Lux with 2 outs. The bases loaded in the bottom of the 11th. Ryan Stanek's got to get a ball over the plate. Hold your breath. Here we go. That's ball 4. He walked him. This game's over. Matt Beatty scores from third base. Everybody else advances, but it doesn't matter because Beatty, the only one that matters, a walk-off walk issued to Gavin Lux. And the Dodgers escaped narrowly with a 5-4 victory over the Marlins in 11 innings. Jock Peterson, player of the game, had a couple hits, one of which was a home run. But man, I mean, there were a lot of contributors in this game to make it such a wild and interesting game. My goodness, I gotta take some deep breaths after that game. What an exciting one between a couple National League playoff contenders as we head to the end of the first half of this season. Dodgers win 5-4. And you see Peterson's numbers there. Hit a double in extra innings, also hit a homer in the 5th inning, which helped the Dodgers stay in the game. But my, oh my. So the winning pitcher in this one is Blake Trinan, the loser Brandon Kinsler, who was responsible for letting the go-ahead run reach base. Well, the Marlins out-hit the Dodgers, but the Dodgers able to win by a run. And they win at home in Game 3 of this series, or the final game of this series. So here's the recap of scoring in this game. The Marlins gave up a run in the first inning when Gavin Lux hit a solo home run off Jordan Yamamoto. The Dodgers got another run in the 5th inning with a Jock Peterson solo home run. Then the Marlins were able to tie it up at the top of the 6th. They got a sac fly from Garrett Cooper and then an RBI single from Francisco Cervelli. The Dodgers took the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning again when Corey Seager hit an RBI single that scored Cody Bellinger. Then the Marlins were able to tie it up in the top of the 9th inning after an error and a few hits. The 11th inning was really crazy. The Marlins were able to take the lead, but then the Dodgers tied the game and then won on a walk-off walk issued to Gavin Lux, who ended the game with a couple RBIs. But man, what a game this was. Both closers for each team blew a save in this game. Kenley Jansen blew the save in the top of the 9th inning. Brandon Kinsler blew the save in the bottom of the 11th inning. But nobody gets a save in this one. Blake Trinan got the win out of the bullpen. Brandon Kinsler got the loss. Well, this has been a production of Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'd like to remind all of our viewers who are still with us, maybe if you're new or if you've heard this before, there's just some news that we'll be having the All-Star game featured on this network. The whole All-Star break, some of the biggest events coming up next week will be featured on this network. The Futures game will be played on Monday, July the 13th. That will happen sometime during the day. It's an indefinite time as of right now. The Home Run Derby will be featured next Monday night, July the 13th. that will be featured sometime toward the evening hours. So that's still an indefinite time. And then the All-Star game will take place on Tuesday, July the 14th. That'll be covered here, and that's still an indefinite time, but it will take place sometime at night, and I'll be calling all three of those events, and I'll be calling some other games that will be taking place throughout the rest of this week, too. So if you like hearing my voice, congratulations. You'll get to hear some more intelligent commentary from these games. But this exciting one has come to a conclusion. The Dodgers win this game 5-4. The Dodgers improve to 62-29. They're still at the top of the NL West by a large margin. Entering play, they were leading the Diamondbacks by 11.5 games. So they still have a safe lead. The Marlins fall to 48-42, and depending on how the Braves do today, the Braves may tie the Marlins for second in the NL East, but the Marlins are now 4 games back of the Nationals for first place since the Nationals beat the Astros today. But I'm Nicholas Callis. Again, this has been a presentation of Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game and all of our games brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis saying so long from Dodgers Stadium. And once again, your final score, the Los Angeles Dodgers 5 and the Miami Marlins 4.